Hi, this video will demonstrate how to factor a quadratic when a is equal to 1. So the general form of a quadratic is ax squared plus bx plus c. A corresponds to the number out in front of the x squared term, b corresponds to the number out in front of the x term, and c is our constant. So here I have an example, x squared plus 2x minus 24. And when a equals 1, we are looking for the paired multiples of c. Okay, so a paired multiples, pair meaning 2, all right, multiples of c that sum to b. So that's why it's important that we know what a, b, and c are. So when a is equal to 1, we're simply looking for a paired multiples. In this case, c is negative 24. And we want those two multiples, when we add them together, to sum to b, which in this case is 2. So I can start and go through the list of multiples of 24, or actually I'm looking for multiples of negative 24. So I know that one of them is going to be negative and one of them is going to be positive. Minus 1 and positive 24, or positive 1 and a negative 24. But now when I sum those together, I see I get a 23 or negative 23. But I'm looking for the two paired multiples that would sum to a positive 2. I can continue through the list. I can do 2 and 12, or 3 and 8. But it looks like it's going to be a minus 4 and a positive 6. Why? Because minus 4 times a positive 6 gives me a negative 24. And when I add those two together, I get 2. Okay? And now if a equals 1, these are my multiples, are going to be my factors right here. So I'm going to come back and rewrite it. X minus 4, okay? I get that from my paired multiples, so that's where the minus 4 goes. And then times x plus 6. All right? And anytime we factor something, all right, we can always use FOIL and go backwards to check. FOIL means multiply my two first terms, I get x squared. My two outer terms, I get 6x. My two inner terms, I get minus 4 times x minus 4x. And my two last terms, I get minus 4 times 6, or minus 24. Combining like terms, or in other words, combining 6x and minus 4x, I now get back to the original problem, which is x squared plus 2x minus 24. And what that confirms is that this actually is my factors, or are my factors. All right, so just to review, when a equals 1, we look for the paired multiples of c. In this case, it was negative 24. And we want those to sum to b. In this case, my b was 2. All right, and once I come up with those two multiples, I simply just plug them in, and that's how I get my factors.